Agentic AI is a huge leap in how AI operates. We're moving from very simple prompts to models that can think about doing very complex tasks and break down those tasks into individual steps and execute them autonomously.
For folks who have not played with AI yet, it's time to get started.
So this is the revolution. It's going from much simpler applications to full process transformation driven by complex multi-step workflows.
Welcome back to the Workday Rising EMEA broadcast, and we're here to talk about a powerful shift in technology that's reshaping the future of work, agentic AI. I'm Claire Hickey, EMEA CTO at Workday, and I'm thrilled to have two leaders at the centre of this vision with us right now. Workday CTO Peter Bayless and Vice President of Product Management Jerry Ting. A huge welcome to you both. So Peter, I'm going to start with you. First question. So we really are starting to see the big picture, right? And we've been talking about the vision from an agentic AI perspective for the past year. And now this is really, truly starting to come to life. So what does agentic first approach really mean? And how will it fundamentally change the way that we all get work done?
Agentic AI is a huge leap in how AI operates. We're moving from very simple prompts or very simple, one input, one output to models that can think about doing very complex tasks and break down those tasks into individual steps and execute them autonomously. And what this means for work and what we do at Workday is that when we think about the core business processes and the core functions we serve, everything from payroll to recruiting, on the back office, something like a financial audit or accounting, we can take some of those core processes and really re-envision them with essentially a very, very capable AI assistant that helps execute some of those very tedious, painful tasks. And we really see a couple dimensions where this agentic AI can help. One, automating rote, routine, repetitive work. Two, amplifying talent potential in terms of helping organizations navigate change with AI and also identifying where workers can best apply their skills. Three, on the compliance side, really making it far easier to ensure whether that an organization's in compliance or not, and what to do about it if they're not. And then the fourth is just faster time to insight, giving everyone essentially an analyst that's working continuously for them. And you're seeing this with the Workday AI agents we've delivered and we've talked about today at Rising, things like self-service agent, letting more workers answer questions they have about their work without having to go to talk to their HR administrator or their HR business partner, or even go to Workday in some cases. Really meeting users in the flow of work with a Workday agent that really understands how to answer complex HR processes questions, all the way to turning this AI internally with our business process optimize agent, where we're applying AI to make the core business processes that define what work means in Workday far more efficient. So this is the revolution. It's going from much simpler applications like we saw, say, in the early days of this modern AI wave to full process transformation driven by complex multi-step workflows.
It really is an incredible time, Peter, right? And you know what? Your excitement in even answering that question is really contagious. So with that, Jerry, I'm going to come to you. And a core part of our agentic future is the ability, of course, to build. So we're seeing a trend of low-code and natural language platforms. So how does this approach to development impact innovation? And who do you see becoming a builder in this new world?
I agree with everything Peter said. And I think for folks who have not played with AI yet, it's time to get started. And so to answer your question about who could be a builder, with Workday's strategy today about opening up our ecosystem and allowing both developers and knowledge workers to build on Workday, anyone can get involved. I'll give an example, and I'll use a consumer example. My wife says, I don't care that you lead agentic AI at Workday. You have to cook me 3 dishes every week. You have to contribute. And I said, great, I'm gonna try to automate that. And so what I did was I built an agent that uses Instacart and a recipe book that I created, and it randomly chooses a dish and it delivers the meal for me on time, the ingredients of the meal, and then I just cook it. That's an example where this is not just about large enterprise transformations. It really impacts the very fundamental of what do I do as a person? How do I use AI to make my life better? And I think with the acquisition of Flowise, Sana, you can now actually build agents directly on top of Workday with people context, money context, but also the security using agent system of record, it's a great time to be on Workday's platform.
That's incredible. So my first request is, would you come and visit me in Ireland and just help me set up also in terms of how I can design menus? And of course, just on a serious note, I think this is really interesting because especially as we see, of course, from a Sana perspective, but even like talking to developers and builders, like the thoughts around what actually can be consumed and achieved for like overall success as an individual, but equally at that enterprise level is really quite incredible. So Peter, as companies adopt AI, they'll soon have a hybrid workforce of agents. So how critical is an open, interoperable platform for managing this new complex AI ecosystem while ensuring trust and of course security?
Turns out it's pretty important, Claire. Can you imagine a world where you would onboard human employees, give them access to all of your systems, and not have them show up in your org chart and your security rules through any sort of governance framework? That's essentially what you have when you're allowing unfettered access to your internal systems and giving it to AI and agents, right? The risk is not so much that this data gets exfiltrated, although that's a concern. It's also ensuring that the right people have access to the right data and that you have the right sort of oversight into what data is shared when, and also, measuring the ROI of all of these efforts, right? There's a huge problem delivering ROI with agents today. So the insight behind this agent system of record from Workday is the place where we govern people, right? It's the system of record for employees. It has a strict definition of what an employee means, of what organization they're a part of, and downstream in, say, authentication, what systems that this employee should have access to as a function of being an employee as part of the org chart. And what we've done with the agent system of record is to build out a agent agnostic platform working with everyone from Microsoft to our own first party Workday agents, where we can use that same process model around people and apply it to agents. And again, you wouldn't treat an employee and give them this unfettered access. You have them in an org chart, you have them with permission model. Workday's agent system of record is a horizontal, agent neutral approach to going and achieving the same, but for a digital workforce.
It's incredible. And you know what? Trust and security is 101 for us. In fact, it's been 101 for the last 20 years, right? When it comes to Workday, it's so important. Jerry, a truly AI-powered future isn't, of course, just one agent. It's multiple agents that are collaborating alongside humans. So how will this directly impact the day-to-day workflow and tasks of an average employee?
I was just talking to a customer before coming on the broadcast, and they're saying, we're building our agent. We're using competitors to build agents. We're working with you to build agents. They're coming to Rising to learn how can these things all work together. And I think the ultimate goal for this CHRO was how do you make that employee's experience easier? We talked about an onboarding use case. There is a security component. There's an identity component. There is a learning component. There's an activation in the role component. You gotta have agents for each of these things, but the orchestration of these agents on that user journey to get that employee onboarded in a seamless and also compliant way, that's really the power of Workday, having one unified platform for people and money, is that you can kick off the onboarding process and that entire business process lives in our platform, and it's our job to help make that easy and ultimately make it simple for that user that's onboarding.
Yeah, thank you. So 2 takeaways there, easier and simpler, especially when it comes to building agents. So I've got a final question for both of you. So looking ahead to 2028, what are your predictions for the most impactful development in agentic AI? Peter, you first.
I think you're going to see more and more of the traditional processes that we do completely manually brought to a human plus AI approach. So this means we have more coverage of, say, in Workday, the tasks and services that people spend time on. And 2, we make this accessible to people where they're doing their work and also other agents. And if you look at our platform strategy, as Jerry hinted with what we're seeing with customers, it's not just gonna be one agent platform or one agent, it's gonna be agents working together. And by embracing open standards through our agent ecosystem, we'll have the best agents for people money, and they'll be working with the other agents that are steeples of excellence in their domain as well.
Brilliant. Thank you, Peter. And Jerry?
I always look at what the foundational model companies are doing because I think it gives you a roadmap for where the world is going to be in 12 to 18 months. There's 2 concepts that I get really excited about, and we talk a lot about these, memory and context. Right? Next year is really, the agents are going to get smarter They're going to know your personal preference, your department's preference, your organization's preference, and then it's going to have the context and the data that we have to actually make that powerful. So the agent is going to be like an employee that gets better. It's going to know, I was using a agent recently to plan a vacation. And the agent literally told me, Jerry, based on the last time you had a vacation, you like to have a structured itinerary. So this time, here's a structured itinerary. That's pretty cool, right? So these agents are getting better, and it makes us more productive as humans.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.